G'day, it's FIDE Master John Curtis, and today I'm just going to present you with just a game that I just played a few minutes ago, but I thought it was very instructive in attacking chess, right, in the middle game. It's only a blitz game, like a speed game, but for beginners, I think it's instructive, and as my chess channel on Twitch is all about teaching beginners in chess from 0 rating up to about 1600 or even 1800. I thought that this is going to be something special for them because they do like to see an attacking game of chess, original ideas, and a nice finish. So let's go and see how the game presents itself. I won't spoil too many of the surprises. E4. So we just got a book move by white. Remember, Goodluckmate, we're playing Goodluckmate. He's also from Australia. He's 21-28 and he's a handy chess player. Anyone 2100 and above is a good, decent chess player. But they only have to make a slight mistake and the game can err in favour of the opponent. Anyway, White's the Magician, myself, the FIDE Master John Curtis from Australia, also from Australia, and I'm rated 2167 for the purposes of our video today. Right, E6. So we've got another book move, French defence, Rubinstein, Blackburne defence. Okay. D5, another book move, and the whole point of this book move for the beginners is just to counterbalance the centre. You'll see the F pawn protects the E pawn, protects the D pawn. So it's called a strong pawn chain. Okay, everything's protected. Okay, so hence the idea. Knight to B5 to D2, a book move. The whole idea is if we play knight to C3, we might get pinned by the bishop. I didn't like that line, so I'm happy if he, and a lot of my opponents I find for blitz chess, they do tend to take a pawn, which is a book line, but I get some very, very attractive games from these types of positions. So I continue to play them, don't I? Knight in the B file to D7. And this is a book move, but a clever idea. So it prepares for the other knight to come here to F6. And if you should capture it, then you help the black knight recapture and gain development. And it's come all the way from B8. Right, so it's gone from there to there to there. Okay? So it's a good move. It's a book move. Knight to F3, book move. Bishop E7, another theoretical move. He wants to, when he does play his knight and complete his minor piece development with knight here, he can then castle into safety. Okay? We'll see if he achieves that safety that he's seeking today. Bishop to D3. Star move, best move. By moving the bishop out from here to here, we clear the back rank so we can castle early and get our pieces moving. Okay? That's the idea behind it, but of course, what we do is we don't just stick to that one idea, we try to be flexible. And I'll show you what I mean in a minute. So after he plays knight to F6, star move, best move, preparing to castle, I thought to myself, very quickly of course, because we're only in a 3-minute game, I thought to myself, well, I know what I'll do. I might want to castle queenside and surprise him. Okay, so I play Queen E2 with the option of castling kingside or queenside once this bishop moves. So I thought, well, I'll just see what he does. And sure enough, he castled. So I thought, well, I'll get my bishop out and clear my back rank. By playing bishop here, I'll get my bishop out, clear my back rank so my rooks are connected and I can castle on either side. Okay, on either side of the board. All right then, okay. So what did I do? I played bishop there, star move. And what did he play? Knight takes knight. inaccuracy according to the engine. And now white plays, how does white recapture? Well, if you take the bishop, the queen will recapture and it's an even game. But no, we play queen takes knight and we don't worry about our bishop. He can't take the bishop for nothing, even though he's got 2 on it. He can't take the bishop for nothing because we've got a dirty big checkmate. The queen's supported by the bishop and they're aiming at the pawn. Now, this is a difficult position. So what does black do? He says, oh no, I've made a slight inaccuracy. So I'll play g6. Star move, best move. And so what does white do? You could just take the bishop off and the queen could develop, but then you haven't got any attack on the black squares, have you? So what do? Well, we do this. h4, star move. And then, if he elects to take the bishop, well, the pawn could recapture, opening up the castle on the H file, right? So, for instance, I'll show you if bishop had taken the bishop, pawn takes, and now the queen could come across and checkmate down there, right? Something like that. But it'd be a pretty nasty thing. So he obviously doesn't take the bishop because he's a good player, isn't he? So he plays knight f6, star move, best move. So I play queen to e2, star move, best move, according to the engine. And now all I need to do is castle. Remember, he has castled. The only problem with his position is these weak little squares around his king. Okay. If his bishop was here, he could play h6 and he'd be all right. Let's see. And now here comes this b6 idea. And I thought to myself, he wants to fianchetto his bishop. Anyway, so what I do is I played knight to e5. I thought to myself, it's only a speed game, and if he takes the bait, knight takes pawn, I could play knight c6 and take his bishop. What I didn't allow for was a good move like bishop here, because I want to castle and get some sort of attack, right? But it was a little bit faulty. The idea is a little bit faulty, but it is blitz chess after all. But he took the pawn. He took the pawn, and I thought, you beauty! Using my Australian accent. I hope I didn't deafen you with that one. But here we go. Knight c6. And now he's looking at does he take the b pawn? Right? Or, if he takes the pawn, I could take the bishop with check. And he wouldn't like that one because he'd lose a piece. So he decides, oh, I know what I'll do. I'll go backwards. So took his bishop with check. Okay. And now his queen recaptured. He has to recapture because, for instance, if he moved here, it'd be checkmate, wouldn't it? That'd be pretty, wouldn't it? But he's not that silly, so he recaptures the knight and protects his bishop. So what do? Queen to f3, star move, a direct double attack on the knight, and an attack on the rook too, which is hanging on the a8 square. All right, so what does he do here? Well, he could play king to g7, couldn't he? But if he played king to g7, he might face this nasty move, h4 threatening h6 check. All right. Oh, and this queen takes rook. We could take the rook off as well. We could do a whole range of things that would make him feel very uncomfortable. So, what does he do? He's got looking at his rook and he thought, I know what I'll do. It's only speed chess. I'll give him a check. And so he does. He gives me a check on b4. And now I start thinking and I think, oh, what about this position? Okay, what is it about this position that is quite unique? And I've got 2 minutes on my clock and he's got 1 minute 52. And I thought to myself, I'm in check, but I've got to examine all checks and captures, and he's threatening to take this pawn down here and take my rook. So here is where you have to use your imagination in chess. Chess is all about imagination and calculation. So we look at the position, we forget about the check for a minute, and then we just imagine if our queen was on this square and our bishop was on that square, he couldn't stop checkmate, could he? Okay. So then we say to ourselves, well, we're threatening queen takes knight, we're threatening queen takes rook. What would happen if we pushed a pawn on his queen? Oh, he'd take the pawn off, wouldn't he? Yes, but if he took the pawn off, examine all checks and captures, John. Okay, well, if you took the pawn off, right? So if you took the pawn off, the B pawn, we could take the knight, and then we'd be almost in that position that we imagined earlier on, which is with the bishop here and the checkmate in one. So I thought to myself, I push the pawn on, he takes the pawn, I take the knight, threatening bishop here, and then he takes the rook with check, I move my king up, and then he takes another rook, and then he gets checkmated. He can't stop checkmate. I thought, that would be pretty. So I thought, well, let's see if it works. So here we go. Pawn there, star move. The engine says it works. Queen takes pawn, star move, best move, the only move in the position. Queen takes knight. Boom! Star move, Hulk smash. Right, or is it Hulk smash? Right? It's good for the grasshoppers. Okay, so now we look at this position, and now examining this position, white is a piece up, right? White is a piece up. So black says, well, I can't have too much of that. And what does he do? He says, I'll take your rook with check. And the engine says, star move, best move. So I thought, well, I'll move my king up here, and I'll give him the other rook, because I imagine if I get my bishop here, he can't stop checkmate. That's the plan. So what does he do? He takes a pawn with check, and I think, well, you beauty! Here he goes. He's got no more checks after I make this move. No more checks. And now I know my next move will be bishop here. Doesn't matter what he does because he hasn't got a check. And then he plays queen there, the best move. And I play bishop there, threaten the checkmate. And you know what? There is no answer. He gives me a check, and I go back there, and now there's no more moves. And he looks at the position, he says, well, how do I stop this checkmate? He says, damn it, I've got all these pieces, and I can't stop the checkmate. So that's it, boys and girls. I hope you enjoyed this game. And please thumbs up if you like the game, if you like the video. It's a simple video. I'll be presenting more very, very shortly, but I just thought I'd throw this little one in to teach you how to firstly imagine positions, imagine like chess puzzles on chess.com, and how you get there, and then work out a plan to achieve your goals. Right? So we had a concrete plan to achieve our goals, okay? Even if it involves sacrificing your rook in the corner and moving your king up the middle of the board, well, the engine agrees it was a good plan. So there you go. And so thumbs up if you like the video, and please subscribe free on YouTube, and come and watch me on Twitch TV live under FM John Curtis Chess, where I take on all challenges, including beginners, right? And I teach them chess. So I virtually specialise in teaching beginners chess, and I enjoy doing it. So come and join me and have some fun. Have lots of fun. Okay. Until next time. I'm going to say arrivederci.